All right, let's talk about something huge, something that most of us will sign up for without maybe thinking through all the implications. The 30-year mortgage. We're going to dig into this idea that it's not just a loan for a house. It might actually be a powerful force that shapes pretty much your entire life and your freedom.
Okay, so let's just let that sink in for a second. This idea is, well, it's pretty provocative, right? It totally reframes how we look at home ownership. It's saying that for 30 years, that's 3 whole decades, that monthly payment becomes your boss. It dictates where you have to work, what kinds of risks you can, or more importantly, can't take with your career. It's less like you're getting the keys to a house and more like you're getting chained to a desk.
So let's really unpack this whole life sentence idea. Think about it. If you sign on the dotted line in your 30s, you could still be paying this thing off when you're in your 60s. That's basically your entire prime working life. All those years, you could be stuck in a state of financial obligation that just kills your flexibility. It makes it so much harder to chase a dream or a passion project that doesn't come with a big, steady paycheck.
Okay, to make this feel a little less, abstract, let's bring it to life with a story. I want you to picture 2 families. They live right next door to each other in houses that look exactly the same on the same street. To anybody just driving by, their lives look identical. But behind the curtains, financially, they are living in 2 completely different universes.
And this is where you can really see the split in the road. On one side, you have the Garcias. They're tied to that mortgage. And that one big monthly payment, it creates this massive domino effect. There's less money left over for investing or saving. Their career choices are driven by how much they need to earn. And there's just this constant humming pressure in the background. But then, look at their neighbor. Being mortgage-free, wow. It's not just about saving money on a payment. It's about what that unlocks. All that extra cash flow means they can think about career changes, maybe start a business, and the financial stress, it's just so much lower.
So the big question is, how do you actually measure the gap between these 2 worlds? Well, it all comes down to this really powerful concept called the freedom number. This is the number that tells you exactly what it takes to finally break free from that 30-year employment contract we mentioned at the start.
I mean, this is it, right? This is the ultimate question for anyone who's ever dreamed of being financially independent. What is that magic number? What's the number that finally sets you free?
And here it is, your freedom number. Think of it as your personal finish line in the race. It's the total amount of money you need to have invested so that the returns, the money your money makes, can pay for your entire lifestyle forever. You wouldn't have to work for money ever again. And, as you can probably guess, that mortgage payment is one of the biggest, hungriest expenses your investments have to feed.
And just look at that number. It is absolutely staggering. Having a mortgage can add something like $600,000 to your freedom number. Now, why is it so high? Well, because your investment portfolio doesn't just have to cover stuff like groceries and electricity, it also has to spin off enough cash every single month, year after year, just to pay the bank. Getting rid of that payment is, without a doubt, the single biggest lever you can pull to lower your freedom number and reach that finish line sooner.
But this isn't just about the numbers on a spreadsheet. Not at all. The weight of all this debt, it's a real heavy burden. It can seriously impact our mental health, our emotional well-being. That constant pressure, month in and month out, to make that payment, it comes with a very, very real psychological price tag.
And this isn't just a gut feeling or something people say. There's actual, compelling scientific research that draws a straight line between debt and our mental health. It shows that feeling trapped by all these financial obligations can literally show up as clinical anxiety.
And here's the proof in the pudding. This chart illustrates the findings from a major 2019 study, and what it found was just incredible. Getting rid of debt was linked to a 25 percentage point drop in symptoms of clinical anxiety. Just stop and think about that for a second. The act of paying off what you owe has the power to fundamentally change your mental health for the better. It's a direct path to less stress and more peace of mind.
So at the end of the day, it really all boils down to this one simple, powerful idea. Every single dollar of debt you pay off gets you one step closer to freedom. And yes, that's financial freedom. The freedom to choose your job, to take a chance on something new, to retire when you want. But maybe even more importantly, it's mental freedom. It's freedom from that constant nagging anxiety that comes from owing somebody else.
Which leaves us with one last big question for you to think about. We are told our entire lives that a home is our greatest asset. But I think it's worth asking yourself honestly, is your home truly an asset that's lifting you up? Or is it an anchor whose financial weight is holding you down, keeping you stuck in one place? The answer to that question could change absolutely everything.